Whereas he may not do that, he may not have intended to do that, but the perception is that that's what he's actually telling them. So obviously, by stating that, you see, you're already undermining, right, the independence of the judiciary, and that's the second reason why the sub judice rule exists.
So if it was a private individual, like you and me, God forbid, who made such a statement, what would happen? You can be charged in court, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
You'd be liable to charge. But the president is immune to prosecution while he sits in the office, so he's a safe man, even as we speak. Listeners, this is Spectrum. We'll invite you to join us right now. Our telephone number 0414-348-111, 0312-260390, 0791-909-909. When you call in, please tell us your name and where you are calling from. Even as we wait for the callers, let's talk about the death penalty. Is it a good thing or a bad thing, or is it something that we should leave through individual jurisdictions?
Well, I think
okay, we seem to have someone calling right now. Spectrum, hello. Let's take the caller. Yes.
Spectrum.
Yes, Spectrum. You live on air.
To Kamal is my name.
Come again.
I salute you this evening.
Come again. Your name?
I thank you very much for that wonderful topic. I also thank the officials from the Law Development Center for actually your articulation. However, the president can, this is not the first time the president sometimes comments on some things. He gives his own view. But we should also stop taking whatever His Excellency says as a policy. Never. For instance, the judiciary has been independent and should continue being independent. Whether the news write about it, whether the radio talk about it, I think the judicial system in this country knows what to do, and they have to abide and to guide and to be not to be intimidated by anybody, whether it can be prosecuted or not. So I call upon whoever is in the judicial system. We want to see you maintaining your independence. No matter statements can be made by the president, by the cardinal, or name them. But as long as you know your independence, we expect you to act according to the Constitution, because you are protected by this Constitution.
All right. Thank you very much. Spectrum, hello?
Hello?
Yes, your name?
Yes, Edmund, how are you?
Very well, your name?
My name is Sam Rao of Muria. Edmund, what we are debating is the collapse and the abuse of institutions in this country. I would like to suggest that as a concerned citizen of this country, I think we are not going to watch institutions abusing each other in such a way. We have witnessed a situation where the executive is abusing the legislature is abusing the judiciary, the executive abusing the judiciary, and I think that is not good for Uganda. Uganda is at the level of nation building. What are we witnessing today? We are witnessing a situation where Uganda is going to be taken back to where we were 25 years ago. And as a concerned citizen, I want to call upon all Ugandans of goodwill. Let's come together and protect Uganda.
All right. Spectrum, hello? Hello?
Hello?
Your name, sir?
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening. Your name?
Yes, my name is Usinje. Now, first of all, someone talked about a referendum. That is the president maybe wanted to make a referendum. We are very much aware how referendum in Uganda are conducted. How sure are we that the referendum will not be misused? We don't have the money, we don't have the resources, we don't have what. Don't you think those ones who want their law to pass, or maybe the law to go through, they will use all what it means to make it pass?
Spectrum, hello?
Hello, this is Amo Martin. My question to our guest tonight is it possible in Uganda to change the principle of presuming somebody innocent until proven guilty by courts of law to presuming somebody guilty until proven innocent by competent courts of law? I think that principle works in some countries like Rwanda. Secondly, it appears as if the president is in to increase the number of Ugandans in yellow, either willingly or by force. Because by coincidence, we find that the color prisoners, what they wear in their prisons is yellow, and the NRM card is also yellow. Thank you.
Let's keep the rulers out of this. Spectrum, hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello, your name, sir?
My name is Jackson. I'm calling from Accra. Hello?
Go on, Jackson, you're live on air.
Yeah, my view on the bail procedure, I think this is it is like a 1 month show. I mean, the legislators are all saying that is not right. The opposition and the NRM members of parliament are all against that. Looks like we're about to spend more money in the referendum just to make sure that 1 month point is actually put forward, and I think that is not considered based on the factor that our economy is in bad shape.
Final caller, Spectrum. Hello? Hello? Yes, your name and where you're calling from?
Hello?
Yes, your name?
Nick is my name. Yes, for the topic. Now, the question is, you are getting some question, and whether the president's statement may have serious bearing on the judicial and the general perception. One, the president's statement may turn out to be a law or indirectly, as somebody in Kampuchea was saying around about the end of thing. Now, if the president pronounces to that effect, that in his own assessment and after consulting several legal brains, he has come up with a strong opinion that the former vice president has no case, where does the IGG now stand before we talk about the judiciary? Will the IGG still have the strength and the motivation, leave alone not the fear, to prosecute anyone without the opinion of the president? I think what the president is trying to create an impossible situation of people using their skill and mandate to promote justice and democracy.
Mr. Kihika, your response. The first caller said it's not the first time. He said don't take everything that the president said. Ignore him. He's only one man. He votes only once anyway.
No, I don't. You see, when a person no less than the head of state makes certain statements, let me give you an example. He's made this statement today, right, about the former vice president. Now, imagine what the public reaction will be if the anti-corruption court comes out with a verdict of saying not guilty.
Right. Credibility of that sentence.
Yes, the credibility of that ruling is always going to have to be in doubt. He said, you see, the president said that, and it's come to pass. It has come to pass. So obviously, that's why those statements must. That's why people should stop. That's why the sub judice rule exists. Because had he not made that statement, right, the public would say, yeah, fine. The court, in its wisdom, has decided perhaps there was not enough evidence. It was probably not a case that was properly investigated, and blah blah blah, and the man has gotten off the hook or has been declared innocent as he actually is.
Right.
Yeah. So
did you say he actually is innocent? Are you making another statement?
No, that's what people probably say. So I'm giving that as an example to see why these statements cannot go unignored.
All right.
Yeah.
Can you change the principle of innocent until proven guilty?
No, you can't.
Oh, really?
No, you can't. We follow the common law system, and under that system, a person is innocent until proven guilty.
Samuel Luma in Amoria said, he said the institutions have collapsed. Do you agree with that?
We would not be here. We would not be here if the institutions had collapsed.
They are still standing.
But let me put in a word of caution on this one, though. You see, the truth of the matter is that yes, the institutions are in place. I wouldn't go as far as saying that they are collapsing. My concern, and I stated it before, and I was still president of the Law Society, I'm still of the same opinion. My concern is that the executive or this government is not doing enough to strengthen these institutions. These institutions are, there are certain times when you get the sense that they're the property of the executive, if you will. There are times, and that perception is there. Yes. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous because if The purpose of the separation of powers is to ensure that these institutions, right, outlive us, the individuals that are appointed,
however good we might be,
however good or bad we might be, right? And these institutions are there to counterbalance each other, all for the benefit of the citizen. Okay. Now, if you have, for example, this law passed, to a certain extent, you're actually whittling down the powers
of the
behind that desk. Yes, behind that desk. So what are you doing? You're compromising, the integrity of that institution.
So with a stroke of the pen, you'll have taken out a large amount of the power.
Exactly. So the thing is that we must, it's always work in progress. The institutions are not entirely collapsed, but you cannot fault some people when they start thinking that the trends, that's where the trend is going. I think there was a question about, and then this is related to the question about the gentleman who asked about the IGG.
Yes.
What happens to
the IGG as he sits in his place?
Yeah. Now
he might begin to shake.
Exactly. That's a perfect example. Now, I know the IGG came out strongly today, as I was reporting in the paper, and says, look, whatever the president says, I am continuing with my what? With my investigation. But because of the president's statement, supposing after the IGG has done his investigations and comes out and says, you know what, I don't think I'm going to prefer charges against X, or whoever it's going to be. I mean, you see how you shall still have whittled down the confidence in the IG's office, which is an institution. Okay, it's a person, but surely it's an investigating arm, it's an institution, which is not supposed to be under the direction of anybody, inclusive of the president.
So the people around the president, his legal advisors, should have told him, don't say what you say, or should have told him, withdraw it.
Well, I don't know.
Well, a president has advisors. They are paid to do a certain job. They drive nice cars.
If they are advising him, that way,
they should tell him. You should call him up and say,
I with due respect, disagree with their advice. With their advice, and if they have advised the president as such, those colleagues of ours, I think, are doing us and the nation a disservice.
Let's talk, baby, just before we go, the death penalty. Madam Babihuga, should it be abolished, or should we still have it on our law statute books?
The Uganda Law Society has again taken a position that the death penalty should be abolished.
Why?
Because of the international treaties we have signed to, and also because of the period within which someone has spent on death, or the reasons with which they are on the death penalty. In the case of Uganda versus Susan Chigula, this went to the Supreme Court. It was still on that same issue, and we need to look at the reason why the appeal went on. We need to see that the death penalty
is removed from the books.
And we also need to have
I want to add that that there's been some research on this done, and that's where the movement is coming in, that the death penalty does not necessarily act as a deterrent.
And some people have said that you don't really punish the man, you punish the relatives, the people that lives behind.
True.
We have to end here. I would like one question very briefly.
Yes.
The independence of the judiciary after the black mambas, after what we're seeing now, on a scale of 100, how much would you give it? The Ugandan judiciary. 99 or 67? Difficult question. Maybe we'll start from there. The next
I think let us have that discussion in detail on another occasion.
Where we'll have Mr. Tisau, His Worship Tisau,
who was unable to join us on the lines. Thank you very much to our guests, Madam Grace Babihuga, an advocate and executive director at the Uganda Law Society. Thank you very much for coming over tonight.
Thank you, Edmund.
Mr. Oscar Kihika, senior advocate and former president of the Uganda Law Society, representing the incumbent right now. Thank you for tuning in. We couldn't have Mr. Tisau because of trouble with the lines. But I've been your host, Edmund, so we'll be back tomorrow. Otherwise, stay tuned for the news in English.
Build it or purchase it, or renovate it. Let's make it possible for you to get started now so that you get into your own home sooner rather than later. Let's enable you to borrow against your house so that you expand and meet all your financial needs. Let's offer you a Stanbic Bank home loan. To find out if you qualify for a home loan, ask at any Stanbic Bank branch today.
Stanbic Bank, moving forward.
Just like an uncut diamond is brought to life by unmatched skill and dedication, only our brewmaster holds the secrets to crafting a crystal malt lager. Under the exacting international standards at Now Breweries, he uses only the finest, most carefully selected grains of roasted crystal malt and sets in motion the delicate process of releasing their full roast. The result is a world-class beer with a fresher aroma, a richer golden color, and a maltier taste.
Nile Gold Crystal Malt Lager, beyond an ordinary malt.
Not for sale to persons under 18.
Okay, so I gave my cousin James your number. He's gonna call you.
Thanks, Judy.
Don't be